Oh, it's, sorry about this. I wasn't expecting to go live. Oh dear me. What on earth have I done? Tone Deaf was just doing a live and he threw the gauntlet down and said, Joanne, you need to go live next. And I can't believe I really should have looked in the mirror first. What was so great, he was saying lots of lovely things about me and how great it was that I just kept hitting record and turning the camera on. I think I got a little bit carried away and I thought, oh, I'll just jump on a live then. I'm so casual and relaxed at turning the camera on. Oh my goodness. I wish there was another screen. When you do the reaction videos, you can have a way of looking at the video and the song and getting engrossed in the music. So you don't look at yourself. I can't believe. Hi Joanne. I am I don't know whether you caught that first bit. I was just on the Tone Deaf. I think one done an amazing job. Yeah, Tone did an amazing job. Yep, sorry, I wasn't reading that correctly. Yes, he did. And so now I'm high and giddy because he's done his first live and I was encouraging him to do it. And he set a date for doing a live, but then he was poorly. And I was, are you really poorly? Now he probably was really poorly, but I was like, behind the scenes, I was trying to push him a little bit more because sometimes when you set yourself a goal and you say you're going to do it, even though life stuff happens and it makes you pause, sometimes that can be enough to knock you off track. So anyway, so I'm kind of high and giddy that he's done it, and I just didn't look in the mirror. I wasn't planning on going live, but he threw the gauntlet down, and I thought, okay, I'll just do it. And I really didn't think much about it. But you can tell I'm a bit giddy, can't you? And I blushed as well. Oh, my daughter painted my nails today. Ah, dear me. Anyway, hi Joanne. Are you a bit high as well? It's so fun to watch other people. Today, I've been doing loads of I don't know what they call it. What's it called when you step out and you like a higher view of things? I was thinking about my channel. I told everybody beginning of February I'm going to do my New Year stuff. Nothing to do with Chinese New Year, to do with the fact that my thinking brain hadn't caught up with 2025 yet. I was still in 2024. So I thought I'm going to do that kind of thinking, and I was thinking about the channel and I was playing with the AI Claude, and I don't know whether you guys have got, I'm getting all out of breath because I'm all carried away. I don't know whether you guys watch YouTube, how to do YouTube videos. There's a lot of them that say you need to teach something, you need to do how to. And in particular, the very clear message that comes through is you are the guide. And that the person who's watching is the hero of the story, and you're teaching them and you're helping them with the transformation. And I've just been really struggling with that. I've been really struggling with, if that's the way to do it, I just feel really uncomfortable. And I think that Tone Deaf was just saying that I just finished a book. I wrote the book. The book was a how-to book. The book was the formula, how to do a how-to book. That was not what the subject was about, but I followed the formula. And then a couple of weeks before it was due to be handed in, I blew the thing up pretty much. I said, I can't do this. I can't. Something has happened from doing the YouTube videos that I don't know whether I want to be setting myself up as this guide that is all knowledgeable and all wise or something. I mean, obviously we've all got our own experiences and we can share and help each other, but this idea of that is my role in a book or on YouTube is that I would be more successful on the channel because of that just felt really off. And I think because I was watching Tone Deaf a second ago, and hi Meg, I think because I was watching him too, I was thinking he's not setting himself up as the guide. He's not saying, here, follow me and you must agree with me or anything like that. And so that was really reassuring, and I thought maybe that's why I like the reaction videos. It doesn't mean I don't think he's adding value in the things that he knows. It means that, as I say, I've kind of come to the conclusion. Now, some of you may not like this phrase. There was a phrase saying fellow traveler. I'm a fellow traveler that I'm going along the way. Unfortunately, when you Google fellow traveler as an expression, it says somebody who's not in the Communist Party but agrees with it. Oh, no, that's not what I'm talking about. Please don't think I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking that I'm doing this journey too, and I'm sharing that I'm trying to, and it was saying, are you trying, all these advice things were saying, what's the transformation and what are you doing? And I thought, I don't know I can put this into words other than I feel I have to take some action. I feel like I could stay in my own head and think about this and then think about this and think about this. And yet, over the last, I don't know, 8 months or so, whatever it is, I've learned so much more by making something, sharing it, getting some data back, sharing, getting some data back. I don't know whether some of you know me. I will get to your comments in a second. I'm just all high and giddy, so I'm going to keep talking for a moment. I started this because I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. I had written books before, but I had been that guide role. I'd been the teacher, and I'd traveled and I'd written books and I'd done things like that. But then being ill, it was, well, I spent a couple of years trying to get better, as we do. And then I thought, okay, if this is the new normal, what can I do with new normal? It may mean that I can't set appointments and meetings and stuff like that because if it's a little hit and miss about whether I'm going to be well. So I felt a pull and a calling to get better at the video. And just like Tone Deaf was saying, it was, I will be better at this at the end of a year. I will be better at this. I knew that I was not going to be good at the beginning. And I think I got to the point that, okay, this is where you're at. And I was able to accept that about myself. Dear me. I'm going to slow down a second. Some of you have bounced right over here. I will have to leave a little bit earlier than I normally do because I need to do bedtime for my daughter. My daughter is 11 and would very happily stay up much later if I didn't do this. Anyway, hello, Joanne, and hello, Megs. So, saying, glad I did. It's about being in the comfort zone. Yeah. And then, I know so many Joannes, isn't there? No, not yet. He's very inspiring. Agree. I sent him the link. I'm not sure if he saw it yet. That's no problem. The first step is always the hardest. I think, Joanne, I had to reach the point where it was do something or don't do anything, but shut up. Just that's kind of how I was talking to myself. Is it don't keep saying you want to do it or you dream of doing it or maybe one day. You do it now with the knowledge that you have and the tech that you have and all the different things that you have. For example, I don't always feel that I have much energy and I've super simplified my life. I've simplified my home and I've simplified my life so that the energy is very precious when I use it. So I'm trying not to look at myself. I'm trying to look into the camera, but I don't do my hair. I don't do makeup and things like that because that is, it's not just physical energy, but it's mental energy of I need to show up perfect and I need to show up like this. And in fact, for the few months before I hit record, I had been losing quite a lot of my hair. And I was really, really struggling with how I looked. And so a little bit my hair was growing back and I was feeling a bit better about that. And I think that probably helped. It was like, okay, at least my hair's been growing back so I can hit record. But I knew I had to get comfortable with that because if I only hit record when I had the energy and whatever else it was, to make myself up and to set everything else up. If I own if I was waiting for that perfect, then I would never hit record. So, dear me. So yes. Anyway, let's just see. Just go for it anyway. I'm the same. I can't believe how giddy I was. I swear I wasn't planning on doing a live. In fact, what actually happened is we went to the shops today and I completely forgot that it was a Sunday. So I don't normally go out, but my daughter had got a voucher for a shop, a clothes shop. So we were doing fashion shopping today. And I kind of got it into my head that it must be Saturday or something. I don't know. Anyway, Megs. Same hair with the hair and makeup and hair loss from autoimmune stuff. It's hard enough some days to get out of bed at all for my illness, so the easier I make it, the better. I think I see loads of people. As I say, I've been watching a lot of how to do YouTube, and sometimes I feel quite angry about it. And it's you don't know my life. Like these people who are experts, like you don't know my life. You don't know how hard it is to hit record. And, when when they use the word just do this and just think about the title and just do the thumbnail. And I'm like, I am, I am like, I'm not drying my hair in the morning because I can't hold the hairdryer. So when you're saying just do a thumbnail, it's like, no, I have simplified my life. I am cutting out any task that is possible. And you think, well, why are you doing the video? I've I've cut out loads, and then it was, "I've done this for a reason. This is now my new normal, and I want to create, and I wanna connect to people, and I wanna, I want to express myself." And I think on my channel, I've put fully self-expressed and then question mark. I think I need to explain what the channel is about a bit more than that. And obviously, I've been thinking about that today. I think there's something with this whole fellow traveler, and that I'm learning about how I show up and how I'm expressing myself. And part of that is I can watch some reaction videos, or I can do some reaction videos, um, and have a play and an experiment. I really wanted it to be about play, and I love the interviews. I love asking them what's going on in their inner dialogue, because if you were watching them, you would just see, well, I see confidence and certainty and knowledge about the the music and different things like that, and you just think these people don't have a care in the world. And then when you interview them, they say, "Oh yeah, I hesitated making the first video, and I wasn't sure about this, and I'm not sure I'm going to show this part of my personality." I was just like, "Oh, I love all of that. I love hearing about." I say it sounds awful. I love hearing about that sort of inner conflict. It really makes me feel like I'm not alone. Oh, dear me, I'm still gushing, aren't I? I can't believe I'm still high from hearing him do that. Anyway, yeah, Megs was saying the same here about autoimmune. It's hard enough some days to get out of bed at all from illness, so the easier I make it, the better. Yeah, I mean, if anybody is watching this at a later stage, and you have any kind of illness which impacts fatigue, I definitely recommend learning a little bit more about minimalism. Not necessarily the aesthetic of you must have everything that's white, but the idea of intentional living, and that you think about everything. It's just when I have plastic plates that I eat from, because sometimes I can't carry a plate, and obviously it's a lot better to just drop a plastic plate. Plus also it's the weight of it. I have plastic cups. I mean, I say I don't know whether I can express this. Everything is simplified in terms of I have a system of, um, shower and dressed, and then I have to rest, and then I do a task or something, and then I have to rest, and then so as I say, this whole push to I want more, I want to create, I want to express myself. Um, there's somebody who's, oh, she's just here. Oh, I was just going to talk about you, Mamie. There's somebody here, and she was saying how it's that kind of, it's almost, say, I don't know whether this is correct. So correct me, please, Mamie, about finding who you are after a period of time, especially if you've been doing the mom thing, or for me, I was traveling and mom thing, and I had all that as an identity, and um, and then life changed. Yep. So I've got to figure out what this new thing is. Anyway, thank you for coming, May. Mamie, I was not planning on being here. Can you tell? I just jumped on. Oh, what a dana. Anyway, so Joanne's been really sweet. Oh, hang on. I just missed. I need to go back up. I think I missed a few. I saw Mamie's waving hand, and then said so, and then John was saying I constantly tired from my meds for epilepsy, so I struggle to get out of bed. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to. I mean, when people are ill, I am sorry to hear that. And from my own perspective, it's like, okay, this if this is our new normal, now what? Now what do we do? Um, because I think for a while, I don't know about you, I think I didn't have a diagnosis for 18 months. So for quite a long time, obviously, I'm stressing and worrying what's wrong with me. But then there's, okay, I'm going to try this supplement. I'm going to try this treatment. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. And then there has to, well, for me, there was a point where there's a lot of effort and energy being put into understanding what is going on with me and trying new things. And I still want to do some of that, but it was too much. It was taking over my life, and it wasn't necessarily making me happy. Um, the YouTube channel has been a bit of a roller coaster of feelings. But overall, I would say it's much more fulfilling than looking for answers. Now, clearly, I don't know whether the next thing I try in terms of a treatment will suddenly make me better. And I think, oh, I wish I'd tried that a year ago. There's just no way to know. At some point, you have to say, okay, let me try and keep that bubbling along, but at the same time, I want this life that I have to be rich and fulfilling, and I want to connect to people. Oh dear, Joanne says I followed you for a while and think you're amazing too. Thank you. I can't believe I've got the giggles so badly. I really wasn't planning on doing a live. I'm looking at myself. I cannot believe I just said to my husband, I said, I'm just going to do the daily video, and then I'm off to bed, and then I got all carried away. Oh dear me. So people saying, people saying hello to Mamie. Oh, hi Joanne, Vicky, hi. I had to pop across and see you too. Thank you, Vicky. Sorry, I've got the giggles and everything. I'm not as cool as Tone Deaf. Megs, Joanne, I've got to take care of my pup, but I would definitely be back to watch more of your stuff. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be here for a huge amount of time. Because say I wasn't planning on it, and if I let my daughter, she will stay up way later than she needs to. She's got school tomorrow. So, Mamie, there is an interesting Dutch lady that has lots of interesting insight into minimalism. If I can find her again, I'll send the link. Okay. Yeah. I find the minimalism stuff quite relaxing now, but that's because I've done the work, and so I'm kind of at the other end. I'm doing more of the maintenance now. But it's definitely helped me with things like cooking, because I struggle to lift a pan and chop the vegetables and stuff. And it's been very intentional about what I do and what I get help with, and also breaking down a task so I'm not expecting myself to do it all at once. But I think it's also, it just makes time for doing things like this, and this is more fulfilling than doing the jobs around the house. Tone Deaf says, so glad I cut my stream off to come here. You had finished. I swear you had finished. I stopped watching you. I did my daily video, and then I got all high and giggly and hit record. I wasn't planning on doing it, but I was so pleased. that you'd done the live. As I say, I was all high. And then Jan's saying to Tone Deaf, he's done an amazing job tonight. There was a few times where you smiled and you looked at the camera, and I thought, oh, bless him, he's enjoying it. I don't know whether that sounds kind of patronizing funny. I don't mean it to be. So funny. Thank you. I wanted to come here and show up. Thank you. You're welcome, but I think you said you were tight for time, so don't worry. If you need to go, that's okay. I shouldn't say that. I should make everybody feel bad and stay with me, but that's fine. Joanne, I always try to think positive, even on my bad days. Yeah. I'm not sure I'm always conscious and deliberate of thinking positive. I feel like at the moment I have a plan. The plan is that I'm going to be creating and doing this. And I think that helps. I think it helps to have something in mind that you're doing. Mamie was talking to Joanne about epilepsy meds, so I'll let you carry on. Vicky, bless your heart, Joanne. I've had ME for over 23 years. I had 11 good years and then got COVID and it came back. Been off work for 2 years nearly now, having to minimize life as much as possible has helped. Yeah. Part of me thought, if I do minimize this, because some things were hard, like I got rid of a lot of my books and we were going to be converting the garage into a room. So we've done that now and we've set it up and we've called it our studio, but there's also a bed in here. So if I can't manage the stairs, then there's a bed downstairs and there's a bathroom downstairs. So, and also, as I said, that there was things that were difficult to let go of, like I say in my books. And I thought, I think in minimalism, they talk about fantasy self. Fantasy me in the future would be reading all those books again because I loved them. And it's like, okay, that's not going to happen. But I was kind of thinking, I think I've said this before on a live, is that being positive in terms of I'm going to feel well and thinking well thoughts made me feel worse. So it's just a complete disconnect. But when I said to myself, what would future me be happy if future me was poorlier, or if future me was super well, or if future me was the same? And doing things like this with the channel, future me for any of those stages or any of those conditions felt a lot happier about. So I don't think it was about being positive as such. I think I struggled with the whole positive side of things. But anyway, Joanne, yes, Mamie, I was diagnosed at the age of 7, now 43. Okay. Turned up. So glad you're doing your live, even if for a few minutes. Sincerely, thank you for pushing me. Are you high? Are you all excited still? Oh dear. It was so, and I'm really pleased that you didn't do reactions. I'm pleased that you let us ask the questions and gave us time, and then you let yourself speak. I think that was really good for you, for us getting to know you, and for you, yeah. And then Mamie was saying, really fabulous live, excellent live indeed. It's just great to interact. Yeah, it's fun. I was reminded recently about the detriment of toxic positivity. That was Mamie. As I say, I like positive. I've had to rethink a few things about being ill. And one of the things I noticed when I was writing the book, there's some words that in everyday conversation have a particular meaning, and yet in another context, this sounds obvious now I'm saying it, but in another context, it has a very specific meaning. And when I was writing about speaking and self-expression and communication, I was thinking, yeah, in everyday use, we talk about all of these things, and that's fine until you have a problem, until you say, I need help. And then they're giving you help for communication being understood, where actually you want help being expressed and saying things that people might not agree, and you're putting words to feelings that are quite complex. So as I say, I think word being positive and positivity is one of those where in a casual use it means something, but yet in that particular situation when I was poorly, it could have meant something else. And I think that was what I was struggling with, is that I needed to be a little bit more neutral, because I felt like I was lying to myself with some of the positivity stuff. Anyway, Mamie says, I was reminded. Okay, yeah, I read that one. That's a good thought. I want to read your work. Can't wait to read your work. Oh, you should drop some links for us so we can go and find your art and work. I need to sort myself out. You know that. And people saying, yes, please drop a link. I do understand what you're saying. Thank you. Yeah, I very much want to be understood. And then when I was writing this book, like I say, I kind of blew the thing up a little bit. I knew the formula for doing how to, and that I could make myself understood in a way, but I didn't feel that the people that I wanted to help, that it would help, which sounds crazy. I don't know whether you're aware of this world, but the whole, you're the guide, you're the teacher, they have a problem, you're going to explain that you understand the problem and show them how to deal with it. And I thought, I'm just interested in, this book was supposed to be about helping with the problem, but I ended up talking a lot more about my story, putting a lot of cartoons in it, because I thought, I don't think anybody who feels that they're not expressing themselves or doesn't feel fulfilled with the way they're showing up is, maybe they're just wanting help and an answer, maybe. And there was a very small part of the book that was that. I think what they're really wanting is to feel that they're not alone, and that my internal dialogue and chatter is very similar to theirs, and that there's a part of them that doesn't want to speak and doesn't want to raise their head up, and then there's another part of them that does, and then that pulling against each other. So I I'm feeling very strange about the book. I normally, there's kind of a relief and you're feeling happy and you're happy to share, but because I just felt so uncomfortable in that role of, I'm the guide, I'm the teacher, and I thought, no, I'm you. I'm still trying to figure this out. My goalposts have moved a few times. Yes, first of all, it was just, can I speak to my boss, like, or a client? Can I speak in simple situations, everyday situations? Clearly now I've moved the goalpost and I'm trying to speak on camera and stuff. But I do feel like, as I said, I think I used the term fellow traveler, didn't I? I do feel like we're on the same path. Not I think the whole guide thing is that you only need to be a few steps ahead so that you can help people. But as I say, I think sometimes the whole teacher position and role is, I've done it, I'm there. Now let me teach you. I don't know. That's why I haven't particularly pushed and shared about the book. I should be receiving the paperback copies of the book tomorrow, and I will do a video then. And I do different cards and stuff with the cartoons on. I want a plan for 2025. I don't have it right now. So, anyway. So, please, I do understand what you're saying. So, what's your book called? The latest one is called Happy Speaking. I don't have it here because I haven't finished it. The one that I published last year, I don't know, because the light was journaling with cartoons. If you do journaling, trying to get out of your own head and write something, I'm very lazy, so I don't think you can see, but you can see I'm just explaining how to do the cartoons, and then I do these little cartoons. Dear me. So no, I didn't particularly promote that one either. I think, I don't know. I The whole YouTube thing is such an experiment, and it's a fun experiment, but there wasn't a plan. I remember a few people saying to me in the comments, I really want you to succeed. And I think if you had a little bit more focus and communicated what the channel was about, then the channel would be more successful. And I go, I don't know what it's about. I'm figuring it out. So there you go. So anyway, sorry, I'm just reading Mamie. I'm waiting until my parents give me a visit date so I can order the physical books. Amazon won't deliver to Cyprus. Right, okay. So yes, I do find it helps. I I like the idea of journaling, but I never did it. I would forget in the morning and then at nighttime and different things like that. So the cartoons was something I kind of fell into because kind of lazy. It was quick and simple. And if I hadn't done them for a few weeks, then I could draw a few cartoons. I could, in half an hour, I can rattle off a dozen of them, which, as I say, I find it fun. I found when I looked at the cartoons that I made myself laugh. And I think this is where I started leaning in towards the self expression. I had been focused so much on communication. I'm going to say, I really want to be understood. I was so intense in it. I wanted to be understood. I felt that opportunities in life for me would come if I was better at speaking, if I was better at communicating, then I would be understood. Then all the doors would open. Um, but as I say, in the playing with the cartoons, and I think really with the reaction videos and the interviews, obviously with the interviews, there's an element of the communication side of speaking where I'm asking a question and I want that person to understand the question. But I'm still leaning again towards the self-expression and saying, "Oh, I'm confused about that. I want to understand what you mean." So, so yeah, and really, the cartoons were my first play in that, and I think I underestimated how fulfilling and satisfying it would be for me to express myself, let alone share them with other people. And then what happened when I shared them is that the reactions seemed to be more intense in that if people got them, if they liked them, they really got them. They really felt like, oh, that's me. I'm connecting with that. That didn't seem quite as passive. It was much more, an active energy. Oh, dear me. I can't believe I've suddenly jumped on this thing. So, because it's tiring, though, I'm sure. So, you're doing great. Self expression is such a broad spectrum, so the whole channel is a broad canvas to explore. Yeah. Maybe I think if I can find a way, communicate, so whatever, however I'm going to describe the channel, if I can find a way to say that on the channel, in that, yes, there's things that I've learned along the way, and I'm still learning. As I say, I keep moving the goalpost, and I'm having fun with that, but I'm not sure how to do that kind of pitch, that one line. This is what I'm doing. As I say, the reactions are fun. The interviews I love. The interviews, it's a little strange because that's not completely in my control in terms of who's going to say yes and no. So we shall see. But I am interested. I don't know whether Tone Deaf is still here, but I've seen a comment. But um, I've seen a couple of things lately. One in the artist world, there's an artist called 1000, and he's been doing quite a few collaborations. Now, I know that we're doing interviews as collaborations with some of the other reaction channels, but I've had a few ideas for other kind of collabs, and I feel like I'm too small a channel really to be suggesting some of these things, but I've been getting these weird ideas about, oh, wouldn't it be fun if we did this? So yeah, so I shall, I'd say I'm just at the moment doing my planning and thinking for 2025 and for the next 100 days or so of doing the daily videos. But yeah, I've got a few things that I thought, oh, that would be really fun if there was a community, if there was a few of us as reaction channels. But again, I don't know whether I would be included in it because a lot of the people that I've interviewed have much bigger channels. So we'll see. Joanne was saying, It's not constant. It's I'm feeling something in a certain time. I write it down, good or bad. Yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan of writing. I'm writing on scraps of paper all the time. And Tone Deaf says, "Of course I'm here." Yeah. So yeah, I get the feeling. I get the feeling quite a few with the people that I've interviewed. I feel like there's so much more of them to share, and I don't know if all of them want to do that with their reaction channels. When they've spoken to me, sometimes it's been once the camera has been shut down, they tell me other aspirations they've got, but I don't know whether that would be a different channel or something different. But but yeah, I suppose, when I'm looking at them, I'm thinking, yes, they're doing reactions and then they're a creator, and there's so much more than that. I think that's why I was pushing Tone Deaf to do the live. I was like, more of you. People need to see more of you. Oh, that sounds pervious. I'm sorry. I don't... Am I going red? No, I don't mean it in any kind of naughty way. Oh, dear me. I mean, share your personality. Dear me, what am I like? I do not think, do I? So, Tone Deaf says, I believe it takes time. Trust me, but we are all finding our own space as well. And John says, I think you are right. Yeah. I just see, I see the creativity um, in what I say much more than that, and some of the playfulness, and it's fun to see when somebody is moved and they maybe share something about their own life experience with so much more than. And I think this is why I've struggled a little bit with some of the YouTube advice. This, you're the guide, you're this one thing. And I thought, I don't think I am one thing. And I know that there's been a few videos that I've cried. I wanted my channel to be very light and to be conversational or fun, but I've ended up crying way more than I thought I would. Oh, dear me. Oh, what I was going to say is brand, the word brand. Um, and funny thing is, when I was doing my cartoons, one of the things that was at the back of my mind was, although they're cartoons and they're very simplistic, I felt that um, it was humanizing them because the cartoons are, are complex in their feelings. They're sometimes they're confused and sometimes they're conflicted, and the words don't necessarily match with what's happening in the picture. But that was what I liked about it. That was the humanizing quality of it. So they're saying, you know what you mean. It helps with connections for sure. My mind is firmly in the gutter. Sorry. Oh, Mamie, I didn't read anything wrong in that. I was just read again. Tone Deaf was saying I did that with depression because that's when I knew I had to come clean about where I was at. And that's tough to think that it's okay to do that. Yeah. I know sometimes you edit your reactions as well. And I'm guessing there was a decision in the editing room too about, okay, let's be brave. Maybe nobody took it that way. Only me, that I was like, oh gosh, suddenly said it. Maybe said I know. Oh, Vicky was saying it's very brave of you, Tom. Very brave. I think it's a conscious decision, isn't it? It's like, do I want this? It's not. It's brave, and it's a conscious decision of what do I want to create? Do I want to create a channel that has one particular flavor or tone? Do I want something that's, hey, we've got some great music, I'm going to talk about it and it's going to be interesting? Or do you want more variety and you have that courage to show that much more of you? Now, I can't talk about showing more of you. Vicky, I'd much rather see an authentic reaction, not interesting clickbait fakery. I think I think that's a lot of the people that follow me say the same thing. I am guessing there's lots of different people who watch reaction videos, and maybe some of them want the surprise and shock and woo and all of that, but they're not necessarily following me, so I don't hear from them. The people I hear from talk about being authentic. They're they're really watching. They want to know, were you confused or did you get this straight away? They want to know that bit. But I guess there's lots of people, lots of different reasons to like the reaction videos. Tone Deaf says, right, should should the world see this? I don't like clickbait either. I prefer to keep exploring this raw emotion of where I'm at. I love that you're pressing. Oh dear me. It then Mamie was saying it's the authenticity. When you're trying to make connections and community, doing it as someone else is just distancing yourself. Mamie, I think we've had this conversation, haven't we? But what Joanne would probably understand too is that I just didn't have the energy to pretend to be something I wasn't, um, which is strange as I'm saying this to you now because I have evolved into. So, and I'm not sure. Was this something you were saying, Tone Deaf, or was this something I was a video that I was watching earlier, and they were saying about you sort of pick a direction and then you make something and you go that way. That is who you're becoming, isn't it? So although I feel like I was authentic from the start, I think it was a slightly more tame authentic than is now. Um, I do feel a lot more comfortable now with some of the mistakes. I mean, I needed to be comfortable, but obviously at the beginning, I remember there was that decision of, okay, I messed that up. Do I share it? And I might have sat with a video for a day or two. It's like, I think I'm okay to share it, but I think I'm getting better. I did have to think about one video the other day. I It was a second song I'd heard of theirs and I didn't like it as much as the first song. And I thought, I'm not sure that's what I want to share on my channel. I'm not sure if I was being a bit negative. Um, and I really want them to succeed, this particular group. I really want them to succeed. And so I didn't want any kind of negativity, but I watched the video again. And I think all that came through when I watched it the second time was they didn't actually do a video. They just had a still shot, the cover and then the music. And I was like, please do a video, please. And I think there was, although you could see that I was disappointed they hadn't actually recorded themselves singing and sharing a video, what you could also see was that I just wanted them to succeed. I wanted to hear them. I wanted to be engrossed. And so I felt like I could share that as a reaction video. But yeah, it's kind of, I want to be authentic, but I don't want to be mean or anything like that. I don't. Anyway, what time are we, guys? Oh my goodness. Okay, Koki. Maybe said Tone Deaf says yes, we all evolve and we all change course when we need to. And Vicky says that's understandable. You grow in confidence. Look, guys. Well, look, Tone Deaf. Well done on your live. I don't blame you for not trying to do a reaction. I actually think not doing a reaction in this video, the first live you did, made it much better. I think that was really great. And yeah, experiment with doing reactions for a different flavor, but I really liked that it was you showing up. And thank you for throwing the gauntlet down and saying, Joanne, you need to do a live because I wasn't planning. I wasn't planning on doing a live. And then some of the people, Joanne, that were here earlier, saw that I was all giddy and high because I'd just been watching yours. I'm gonna go because I'm gonna put do bedtime duties for my daughter who's 11, and would just stay up till midnight watching YouTube if I didn't go upstairs. So thank you guys. Thank you for showing up. So, and Vicky saying she's going to put her. Thank you. And people saying bye. Uh, Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Tone Deaf. Anyway, yes, I'm going to end the stream, but very fun way to end the day. Thank you for showing up. Oh, Film Vines. Hi, Jess. Hi, before you buy. Sorry. Go, Phil. Jess. Tone Deaf has just done his first live. You need to go check him out. He did a really great job, and we've just been gushing about it in this live. So, anyway, night. Good night. I'm gonna hit go, hit end stream. Bye.